We represent the South's last best places, and the stewards of these lands are America's true conservation heroes. Whether it's our famed quail plantations and high-quality recreational lands, islands and coastal properties, unique ranches and farms, or even our trademark social storm properties, what the places we represent all have in common is they have high intrinsic value. For over 30 years we've developed this niche, becoming its ambassadors and building it in what it is today. So many landowners now trust us to show their land's highest value, rely on our buyer Rolodex, and benefit from our concierge marketing that we close an average of $500,000 a day, 7 days a week. Today, our lands are consistently in the national spotlight and universally recognized by investors worldwide. In order to share this lifestyle with even more people, we went beyond the role of a broker to produce this short film series. We share the landowner's experience, take a peek at what the next chapter may hold, or even look back generations to discover the secrets that led us here today. These are our lands, lifestyle, and legacy. We are Jon Kohler Associates. Join us as we give tribute to the land and the heroes that steward over these last great places. Today's property is a culmination of a lifelong dream, a dream many of us have, a place to enjoy managing and hunting trophy whitetail deer. Being able to consistently have bucks on your land that score over 165 inches is an almost impossible goal for most. It takes owning a property with near perfection status of age, genetics, and nutrition. For the vast majority of properties, having all three may seem out of the question. The good news is that this is a heyday in the world of deer management, and we have landowners that are consistently growing deer the size of which were previously unimaginable. For today's story, we're going to share an inside look how this landowner took modern management techniques and went about turning a good property into a world-class property. We're going to talk to the landowner as he shares his vision and candidly discusses the things that really matter. We're going to show you some of the most absolutely beautiful white-tailed deer. In fact, you're going to see some of the largest whitetails in America, yet with all the conveniences of being in Florida. You're going to enjoy hearing about a landowner's journey to accomplish a dream, sharing it with others, all the while enjoying God's great creation. You're going to like Ryan and Gloria Ann and hearing their story. Join us as we take an inside look at Legacy Ranch.
I'm Ryan Boyd. Welcome to Legacy Ranch. I remember when we first pulled through the gate and onto the property, the first feeling was this doesn't feel like Florida. There's some topography, there's some rolling hills, there's some cabbage palms and palmettos in certain places, so there's that Florida feel. But for the majority of it, it's very diverse. We've been looking for a property like this for a long time, and it probably took us about 2 years of really searching. My dad actually stumbled on the property when we bought it, when we found it, and as soon as we rode through the gates, we knew this was it. We wanted to be here. I remember calling her and saying, you got to get out here, because words weren't going to describe the property. She needed to see it. So I brought her out here and she fell in love with it as well.
Hi, I'm Gloria Ann Boyd with Legacy Ranch. You just love at first sight, just coming in, and I think it was in the spring, so those peanut fields were popping like they are now, and it was just beautiful. And we love the outdoors anyway, and so just knowing you have a piece of property for yourself to just explore and enjoy, it's amazing.
So when we first saw the property, I saw potential. That's the first thing I thought of, is there's a lot of potential on this property. There's a lot of things that I can do with it. And what we wanted to do is, that's why we named it Legacy Ranch. We wanted to create a legacy to where everybody that comes out here that experiences what we have to offer and just experiences the land, the animals, the habitat, the nature, and they're all part of the legacy that's being left. Whether it's to my kids or to somebody else that purchases the property, we feel like this place is going to leave a legacy. When I was raised dog hunting. We'd have a deer flash across the road. Maybe per weekend we'd see one deer. And that made the deer like a mystical creature. And that's why I got into raising deer. With my boys, they're on the buggy and there's deer everywhere in the front yards, and look at those deer, and they're just seeing them everywhere. I think that because deer in North Florida, Florida's not known for their deer. I mean, our deer are about the size of a greyhound in the wild, but here on Legacy Ranch, we've got this genetics where some of these deer are 200, 225 pounds, 250 plus inches. And these people that I used to hunt with growing up hunting and dog hunting, they would probably just pass out if they saw something like that. They've never been around anything like that, and it's right here in the state of Florida. you're gonna see anywhere from probably 30 to 40 deer per night or per morning per sit from the stand, and depending on the time of year. So we breed for big typicals, and that's what the majority of what people like to see is big typicals. If the fence wasn't here, I think most of the genetics would get shot out because these 2-year-olds are blowing people away. Everybody that sees our 2-year-old deer, we tell them they're 2 years old and they're arguing with, there's no way. And I'm like showing them the pedigree birth certificate. Like, I know exactly how old this deer is. I know the day he was born. People just can't believe it, but it's genetics. It's genetics and nutrition. And that's what we have. Yeah, so for somebody that doesn't really understand high fence and high fence hunting, all it does is keeps predators out, keeps poachers out, and it keeps the genetics in. That's all it does. We just have some outstanding genetics. That's something we've worked very hard on. We've gotten the best of the best genetics, and that's what we have today.
We sell a lot of high fence properties, and my own place, Lick Skillet, is also fenced. Like most of my clients, I wish I'd done it sooner. In fact, I will share something few know. In Florida, they are now so popular that the number of high fence properties has increased by 30% in just the last 2 years alone. As more people realize the benefits, the more popular they become.
So we've got some smaller planted pines, about 7 to 8 years old. We've got some larger plantation pines that are about 20 years old. We've got some oak hammocks and a few ponds. There's one smaller pond that's full of catfish, and we've got another pond coming in September, about 1.25 acres to 1.5 acres. So we're real excited about that, gonna stock it full of fish. And yeah, very diverse piece of property. So we've got 7 or 8 different food plots that are perennial peanuts. I think about 12 to 14 acres of perennial peanuts. They come up every year. They're already established. All we have to do is maintain them. That's the hardest part, is getting them established. They feed the deer during the growing season, during fawn recruiting, during antler development. They're high protein, very highly palatable to the deer. The deer love them. There'll be 20 to 25 deer in our front yard every night. You know, it's cool having multiple types of species of animals in here. We've got black buck antelope, we've got fallow deer, axis deer, and then of course the whitetails. The exotics you can hunt year round, so it always gives you something to do. And then, you know, whitetails, we have a elongated season for that as well. But it's a lot of fun hunting those exotics and having, you know, the different type of game meats. We love trying different meats. And my wife and I, you know, love to cook wild game, so that's pretty exciting. When you see an axis deer or a black buck antelope running through the field for the first time, it feels like you're in Africa. It feels like you're not in Florida. It's really cool. It's a cool feeling. And watching them run, I mean, a black buck antelope can run 52 miles an hour. So seeing them just fly across the field and the way they gallop and play, it's pretty amazing. It was probably in my early 20s. I have a friend, fellow deer farmer, that's been raising deer for a long time. And I went over there to help him move a buck that he was selling. And when he darted that buck and I got my hands on this deer, I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. I want to get into this. And we first bought just a handful of deer just to raise and look at. And then one thing led to another. We started getting into pedigrees, and then once you're in, you're in. And so then my dad got involved, and so we've put a huge investment into trying to get the best pedigrees that we could possibly get our hands on, and we want to be the best in the state as far as the pedigrees that we raise. Yeah, so on this ranch, in our breeding facility and in the preserve, some people think we're crazy for releasing some of these genetics into the preserve that we have, because these are breeders. But we've got horsepower, triple crown, blackjack, voodoo's magic. We've got pretty much the best names that we could find, the best genetics that we could possibly find. We've done embryos for the past couple years. We've done artificial insemination, so that's how we get these outstanding genetics, the best of the best, onto our place. Yeah, the whole shop, it's a Morton building, so it's not going anywhere. Solid, I think it's a 5-inch or 6-inch slab. It's a huge slab of concrete. Very, very well built. I think it's 3,200 plus feet, huge shop. You know, we've got all of our equipment in there. That's where we quarter and clean all of our deer. We've got a walk-in cooler, a full cleaning area. We've got a ice maker, everything that you'd need to fully break down and process deer or any type of wildlife. We wanted a country farmhouse feel, but with that modern vibe. So when we first moved into the place, we had it completely renovated, every single room.
So my favorite room in the house is definitely the kitchen. I spend my most time here for sure. Just I have 4 boys to feed. So I'm always cooking something, whether it's something, that we harvested from our own property or not, but we love to cook. My boys love to cook, so that's been so much fun. But we totally just redid the kitchen. I love my island. It's so big and spacious. And the gas stove has been a game changer, but I just love it. I just love the whole look, for sure. I mean, we did design it, but I'm a little biased.
Yeah, we've had a great time with Thanksgivings, Christmases, any type of get-togethers, because there's limitless things to do out here on the property. We'll go for a ride in the evenings and just see animals and come back and get next to the fire. It's a great place to be.
Oh man, I love raising the boys out here. I mean, we're outside, probably 80% of the time, because there's just so much to do. Like, they love picking blackberries with me, when the blackberry season, forage with me, and just being able to come feed the deer. How cool is that for a 3-year-old to be able to be this close to a deer and feed them treats right out of their hand? Like, it's amazing. Like, they have the best childhood ever. Like, hopefully when they get older, they'll appreciate, how great they had it. But we take buggy rides every day. All the cousins and family love to come, because that's all we do is just spend time outdoors and take the buggy ride and see all the animals, and it's wonderful. I mean, it's a great place for a kid to grow up. I wasn't raised in a big outdoors family. It was more so when I met Ryan, and we started. I met him when I was 17, so we started every date we went to was either hunting or fishing or something outdoors. And I think he kind of introduced me to the outdoors, and I just fell in love with it. And I'm like, what have I been wasting my life with inside my whole life? But yeah, he just opened up a whole new world of possibilities, and I just love it. There's so many things that bring me joy. I mean, we get to wake up and run to the front window and see how many deer we see, or see if the axes are out if they showed up, because they're a little bit trickier to find. So it's exciting to look with the boys, and they have their little binoculars, and being able to just see what amazing wildlife we have in our front yard. And probably even more so is just having a place where all of our family from out of town can come, and it's just such a cool, unique place that they can enjoy and just be a family together and enjoy the outdoors, and kind of share that with my family that really wouldn't ever be outdoors if not, or they're stuck inside playing video games. So we get to take them out of that element and just, introduce them to this amazing world that we have out here. It's just so cool. I love it. But I mean, everything brings me joy. Just seeing just how beautiful it is everywhere in the morning and the evening, and I love it. I do. I'm gonna miss it.
Another hidden benefit that I should point out is that the Social Storm property score here is exceptional. This is exactly the type of place one would take their family during the next pandemic or worse. Social Storm properties is a term that we first trademarked over a dozen years ago when we recognized this new asset class. In the beginning, it was primarily those that share a biblical worldview that had concerns. Today, everyone gets it, with the daily news sounding more and more like something written by an Old Testament prophet. If tomorrow's a better day, this property will be enjoyed and appreciated as a high-quality recreational property, as it historically has. If tomorrow's a worse day, it will be even more demand and command even more value as a Social Storm property, dwarfing any benefits that a traditional safety net like gold could possibly offer. Meanwhile, you can rest assured that your family is safe. It was like COVID for many families. They are out and about on the land, creating even a stronger bond. I like investing in things that offer multiple exit strategies, are enjoyable, and build long-term wealth. When it comes to doing that, few things can yield the return of building a high fence.
Honestly, the security of this place is probably what I'll miss the most. I mean, I've never lived in a place where I feel more secure, more safe, when I lay my head down at night. I would say this is a very protected 250 acres. It's completely surrounded by 8-foot fence with barbed wire around the top of it. It's almost like a compound. The house is dead center.
Safety-wise, I mean, like Ryan always said, we never lock our doors. We never this is like as tucked back and as secure and safe as you could be. Like someone couldn't get to us if they tried, because they have to know the gate code. They have to be able to turn down these little country roads, and just safety is definitely a plus for being out here.
When I'm sitting at the coffee table back here and I'm sipping coffee and looking at 20 whitetails in the field and seeing some of these bucks, it's just, there's no better feeling in the world. It's incredible.
We hope you enjoyed this inside look at one of Florida's leading recreational properties, and sharing Ryan and Gloria Ann's story can help you build your own. The window of opportunity, when you have the financial ability, good health, and your family is with you too, is fleeting. We see all too often businessmen waiting too long, working so hard to be successful, but by the time they get serious about buying a place, finally figure out that no one place is perfect, they have lost the priceless opportunities. Kids and puppies are only impressionable for a short period of time. Spending time in the outdoors with your grandkids is the most valuable gift you can possibly give both you and them. Having a safe place to go is no longer an optional insurance policy, but mandatory. Our observations show that for every year someone waits before they start this adventure, they're cutting their time short by about 10%. The cost of waiting adds up, and I haven't met anyone that started that regrets they didn't make a decision sooner. Don't get caught up focusing only on what today's society says is success. True wealth is being able to spend time making a difference, making memories with friends and family in God's great outdoors. Whether you're looking to achieve your dream of owning a world-class hunting property, a place to entertain family and friends, a safe place to store well, or even a social storm property, the fact is this property has proven exceptional in all of the above, earning its rankings as one of the most unique investment in recreational properties one could hope to find. Allow us to help guide you, help build upon what has already been accomplished here as you customize it to your own adventure, to help you accomplish your dream.